Good evening, students. My name is H.N. Shivananjaya, Chemistry Professor, Government Science College, Bangalore. Congratulations for getting seat in our college. I welcome you for my first class. I am going to take organic chemistry. In your previous studies, you already know the branches of chemistry. Again, I repeat: inorganic chemistry, physical chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry, etc. In the first BSc level also, you are going to study organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and physical chemistry. Among three divisions, I am going to take, that is organic chemistry part. You are already having the knowledge of organic chemistry since you are studied from high school level, but in degree level, you are going to learn in detail. What are the concepts present in organic chemistry? Introduction, IUPAC nomenclature of organic compounds, reaction intermediates, alkanes, alkenes, cycloalkanes, alkynes, aromatic hydrocarbons, preparations, properties, uses, etc. you are going to study. It is about 22 to 25 hour syllabus. In the examination, you are supposed to get the more than 22 marks questions. The question paper will be like this. First, part A and part B. Part A contains 2 marks questions. Part B contains 5 marks questions. Part B contains 6 marks questions. That is, part A, 2 marks questions, 3 to 4 questions will come in organic chemistry. Like that in other subjects also, other inorganic and physical chemistry. And I am going to discuss organic chemistry. IUPAC name I am not going to discuss, but wherever necessary, IUPAC names, that is, I am going to teach. The first chapter is, that is, reaction intermediates. Before going to learn reaction intermediates, organic chemistry, some basic knowledge is required. What is that basic knowledge? That is, what are organic compounds? How many types of organic compounds? Divisions of organic compounds, etc. etc. That is, organic compounds, the compounds containing carbon and hydrogen are called hydrocarbons. Compounds containing carbon and hydrogen with a definite ratio is known as hydrocarbons. For example, methane, you know the formula of methane, CH4. Methane, CH4, it is an hydrocarbon. Benzene, C6H6, it is an hydrocarbon. Definite ratio of carbon to hydrogen, definite ratio of carbon to hydrogen. Therefore, organic compounds are those, the compounds containing carbon and hydrogen. And you are going to study, in organic chemistry, you are going to study hydrocarbons, preparations, properties, formulas, name, structures in detail. But before going to study all those things, you will come across some points in organic chemistry. Those points are: number 1, electrophiles, nucleophiles, free radicals, carbocations, carboanions, etc. etc. Now, to learn all those things, before going to learn all those things, why should we study all those things? you are going to study in chemistry, whether organic or inorganic or physical, you are going to study reactions. Reactions, whenever two or more reactants, under specified conditions, combine together to form new products. That is, reactants conditions means temperature, pressure, concentration, catalyst, etc. is products. Products. So a chemical reaction involves reactants and products. Reactants are converted to products under specified conditions. Specified conditions may be room temperature, pressure, or that is additional temperature, pressure, catalyst, etc. For example, H2 plus O2 gives H2O. H2 plus O2 gives H2O. This is the normal conditions. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to form H2O, water. That is, lighting is required. Normal room conditions, high temperature, that is 101 degree, 101.325 kilopascals, and 25 degrees Celsius at room temperature. During lightning, this reaction takes place. The large amount of water is produced. Hydrogen combines with oxygen during lightning period to form H2O, and it is stable at room temperature. It is a chemical reaction. Similarly, that is NaOH plus HCl. In dark as well as light, dark conditions, very low temperature, this reaction takes place to form NaCl and H2O. Here, that is OH of sodium hydroxide combines with H plus of HCl to form sodium chloride water. It is a chemical reaction. Similarly, CO plus H2 plus H2 over the surface of zinc oxide and Cr2O3 on heating. Water gas, CO and H2 is known as water gas, combines with H2 under following conditions, that is high pressure, and catalyst required is zinc oxide, chromium oxide, Cr2O3 gives methyl alcohol. Here, all these reactions involves reactants and products. It's said to be chemical reaction. Therefore, a chemical reaction is one in which the reactants are converted to products under specified conditions. Now, organic chemistry. This is an organic reaction. So these two are inorganic reactions. Like this, we are going to learn several organic reactions. In almost all organic reactions, we will come across organic reactants. As well as inorganic reactants. That is, organic compounds combines with inorganic compounds. To form new organic compounds as well as inorganic compounds. Now, during this process, the reactants are converted into the products. The various steps will come across. That is, we have reactants, and under specified conditions, you will get the products. Between the reactants and the products, during that time gap, various that is, new species are generated. new radicals are generated, new ions are generated, neutral species may be generated. Neutral species may be generated. Therefore, to study those intermediates, reaction, we are called it as reaction intermediates. And what are those reaction intermediates? Reaction intermediates. Reaction intermediates. We have reactant converted into products. Now, between reactants and products, the time required is 1 hour. Time required is 1 hour. So here, 0th minute and 60th minute. That is between the difference of 59 minutes. Don't think reactants are immediately going to the product. During this period, reaction intermediates are obtained. What are those reaction intermediates? How those reaction intermediates are obtained? Means we have reactants, that is hydrogen and chlorine. This is H2 and Cl2. You know that what is the product obtained? That is 2HCl. 2HCl is obtained. Same thing, 2HCl is obtained. And we have methane plus chlorine gives methyl chloride and HCl. Methyl chloride and HCl. Methane, chlorine. Under normal condition I am talking, methyl chloride and HCl. Two products are obtained. These two are the products, these two are the reactants. Now, assume time required is 60 minutes. Between 59 to 0, that is 0th minute to 60th minute, about 59 minutes, various steps before going to convert into reactants, before going to convert into products, various steps will come across, arises. And during those steps, reaction intermediates are occurred. Now, how those reaction intermediates are occurred? Here is a molecule, this is a molecule. The first here, the molecule during the formation of the products, old bonds are broken. Old bonds are broken and then combined to give products. Old bonds first broken, then combined and finally gives products. 3 steps. Which is the first step? First we have molecules. It contains, for example, hydrogen contains one covalent bond. Chlorine also contains one covalent bond. In case of methane, contains 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds are there. Whereas chlorine contains 1 bond. Altogether 5 bonds. Therefore, here all those 4 bonds should be broken. Here 1 bond should be broken. Here in case of hydrogen and chlorine, each contains 1 bond, that should be broken. After breaking with the help of conditions, what are the products obtained? After breaking, reaction intermediates are obtained. How reaction intermediates are obtained? By breaking the bonds present in reactants. Reaction intermediates are formed. How reaction intermediates are formed? By breaking the bonds present in the reactants under specified conditions. the new species are obtained. The new species are obtained before converting to the products is known as reaction intermediates. Now, which is the first step? That is old bond breaking. Old bond breaking or reactant bonds breaking. Reactants bonds breaking. Reactants bonds breaking. Reactant bonds breaking under specified conditions by two ways, or there are two types of breaking of the reactant bonds. Two ways. What are those? What are those ways? Number one, homolytic breaking or homolysis. Homolytic breaking up of the bonds or homolysis. Homo means I shall mail it. Lysis means breaking. Lysis means breaking. Breaking of bonds. Homolytic breaking or homolysis. And another one is opposite to homo, heterolytic breaking. Heterolytic breaking or heterolysis. Heterolysis. In the molecule, homolytic breaking takes place or heterolytic breaking takes place. Or one molecule undergoes homolytic breaking, another molecule undergoes heterolytic breaking, or vice versa. Therefore, that is, reaction intermediates are formed by breaking up of the bonds present in the reactant molecules. How many ways of breaking up of the bonds? Homolytic breaking, nothing but homolysis, I shall mean it. Heterolytic breaking, nothing but heterolysis. Heterolytic breaking of bonds or heterolysis. Now, first one is homolytic breaking of bonds. What is meant by homo? Homo, we have hydrogen molecule, we have chlorine molecule, we have methane molecule, all contains covalent bonds, all made up of covalent bonds. What is the chemical bond? The force which holds any two atoms in a molecule is said to be chemical bond. Here, hydrogen molecule, which force which holds these two hydrogen atoms? Which force which holds chlorine molecule? Which force which holds hydrogen chloride? Which force which holds, that is, NaCl? Like this, a chemical bond is formed between any two atoms is due to some force. Now, what kind of force which holds these two atoms? What kind of force which holds these two atoms? Same principle is true for the rest of the molecule. Therefore, here the force which holds any two atoms in a molecule is said to be chemical bond. Depending upon the type of bond, as a force, the bond is formed. Now, you already studied that is covalent bond. Another one is ionic bond. And third one is coordinate bond. Covalent bond, ionic bond, covalent bond. The force which holds any two atoms in a molecule is different in all these cases. Now, come to the covalent bond. 99% of the organic molecules are covalent in nature. What is covalent bond? A bond formed between any two atoms is due to equal sharing of electrons. Equal sharing of electrons. For example, we have hydrogen. We have hydrogen. Both to form a hydrogen molecule, that is both the atoms that is shares one electron each. One electron each. Similarly, we have oxygen plus oxygen gives O2. Here, this oxygen shares 2 electrons. This oxygen shares 2 electrons. Therefore, here 2 covalent bonds are obtained. Similarly, we have nitrogen plus nitrogen. You will get nitrogen molecule. This nitrogen shares 3 electrons. This nitrogen shares 3 electrons. Therefore, nitrogen molecule is obtained by equal sharing of electrons. Similarly, here that is C plus 2H2 under specified conditions gives CH4, 4 bonds. This hydrogen, this carbon, this carbon, this hydrogen, this carbon, hydrogen, carbon, hydrogen. One carbon shares 4 electrons and each hydrogen shares 1 electron. Therefore, 4 covalent bonds are obtained. Hydrogen 1 covalent bond, oxygen 2 covalent bond, nitrogen 3 covalent bonds. Therefore, the bond formed between any two atoms is due to equal sharing of electrons is said to be covalent bond. Now, 99% of the organic molecules are covalent in nature. Means here we have hydrogen. Now, homolytic fission means symmetrical breaking up of the covalent bond. Symmetrical breaking up of the covalent bond. Symmetrical breaking means each bond is made up of 2 electrons. Each bond is made up of 2 electrons. Therefore, here the covalent bond is broken in such a way that is the fragments obtained, intermediate obtained, getting 1 electron each. 1 electron each. Here the breaking like this. That is 1 electron we are going to represent it by single dot. Single dot. That is obtained from breaking up of the covalent bond. That is hydrogen, another hydrogen dot. Therefore, when these two fragments, these two are fragments, generally intermediate. Similarly, we have that is chlorine molecule undergoes, it is also made up of 2 electrons and symmetrical breaking up of the covalent bond, equal breaking up of the covalent bond leads to Cl dot and Cl dot. Similarly, we have methane molecule. I am going to consider 1 bond at a time. 2 electrons, 2 electrons, 2 electrons, 2. Consider any one, and here symmetrical breaking up of this bond leads to CH3 dot and H dot. These are all the fragments. Comes under intermediates. That is, intermediates are obtained by breaking up of the covalent bonds. Covalent bond undergoes breaking by 2 ways. Number 1, homolytic breaking up of covalent bond or homolysis. Homo means same, lysis means breaking. Means both the fragments getting 1 electron. Both the fragments getting 1 electron. That is homo, symmetrical breaking. And what is this? The products obtained, intermediates obtained. Intermediates are also have specific name, and this is hydrogen free radical. Chlorine free radical. Chlorine molecule or chlorine atom, we should specify. Chlorine molecule, you should specify. And chlorine free radical. Don't sell just to chlorine free radical. This is chlorine molecule, hydrogen molecule. This is not a hydrogen atom, hydrogen free radical. Hydrogen atom is this one. It has no, that is free electron like this. Unpaired electron, single arrayed electron. This is hydrogen atom. Hydrogen atom, hydrogen free radical, hydrogen molecule. We should, that is suffix without fail. Hydrogen atom, hydrogen free radical, hydrogen molecule. Similarly, chlorine free radical, this is chlorine molecule. Methane molecule, methane free radical. Methane free radical. Now come to the what is homolysis? Symmetrical breaking up of covalent bond gives fragments. Gives fragments or reaction intermediate. Second one is homolytic fission or breaking or homolysis. Homolysis of the reactant molecules. Oh, sorry, this is over. This is first one. Second one is heterolytic fission or breaking or heterolysis. Heterolysis. Now, what is meant by hetero? Hetero means different. Hetero means different. In what respect? The difference, getting the products. For example, we have HCl molecule, hydrogen molecule, we have chlorine molecule, we have methane molecule. Now, two electrons, each bond, covalent bond made up of two electrons. Heterolytic fission means breaking. That is unsymmetrical breaking. Like this. Breaking. Unsymmetrical breaking. Unsymmetrical break or breaking. Unsymmetrical breaking under specified conditions gives reaction intermediates, but those reaction intermediates obtained different from homolytic fission, homolysis. That is, here two electrons are one side and simply there is another fragment is another side. Say I am going to write H plus and H minus. That is, no doubt two fragments are obtained. One contains two electrons. It contains no electron. No, in this case, no electrons. Now come to this. Here also, that is Cl plus, another one is Cl minus. Both electrons shared, obtained by, getted by one reaction intermediate. And this contains 18 electrons and this contains 16 electrons. Altogether, that is 34 electrons. Here, atomic number of chlorine is 17. Now, this contains 2 electrons. One H minus getting 2 electrons, another H plus do not have any electron. Similarly, that is CH3 plus, another one is that is H minus. H minus. Here, one intermediate carries positive charge, another intermediate carries negative charge. Whereas in case of previous, both the reaction intermediates getting same number of electrons. Here, division of electron density. Now, heterolytic fission means heterolysis. Heterolysis means unsymmetrical breaking up of covalent bond. Unsymmetrical breaking up of covalent bond under specified conditions gives charged species. Charged particles. Charged particles. Here positive charge, negative charge. Positive charge, negative charge. Positive charge, negative charge. Negatively charged species having rich in electron density, positively charged species having shortage of electron density. Shortage of electron density. Because here both the electrons owned by one species. Another species do not. That is, the species which are taking electron density carries negative charge. A species which is losing electron density getting positive charge. Therefore, a reaction intermediates getting negative charge is said carries electron density, whereas a species which is getting positive charge, it is a losing species with respect to electron. Therefore, positive charge means shortage of electron. Negative charge means rich in electrons. If it is so, what are the names of one electron containing species, no electron species, and negatively charged species? I am going to discuss in the next class. Today, in my topic, what I discussed so far, you must know what is covalent molecules, how it is obtained, what are organic compounds, what is covalent molecules, examples, how many electrons present between two atoms in a molecule, and what is a reaction. Reaction consisting of how many parts generally, that is reactants, intermediates and products. Both reactants and products are stable, intermediates are less stable and more reactive. We will discuss in this class how these intermediates are obtained by breaking up of the bonds present in old molecule or reactants. How many ways of breaking? Two ways, homolytic, another one is heterolytic. Homolytic means symmetrical breaking up of covalent bonds, and the fragments obtained carries odd electron or single electron or carries same number of electrons, and unsymmetrical breaking up of covalent bonds leads to charged species. Charged species, these charged species are also called reaction intermediates. One charge carries negative charge which contains more electron density or rich electron density. The losing atom getting positive charge carries less electron density. Next, in the next class, you are going to learn what are the names of the reaction intermediates. What are the names of the reaction intermediates? We will discuss in the next class. Thank you.